Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Katie and I'm the Organic Esthetician. If you're new to the channel, I've been a licensed California esthetician for over a decade, and I create educational videos here on YouTube focusing on clean and organic skincare and a huge focus on anti-aging and anti-aging devices and modalities. So if you're interested in adding a beauty tool or device into your skincare routine or want to know more about what options are out there on the market, make sure you check out my videos because I have a lot of tutorials and demos on all of the best at-home facial devices available. And obviously it would be awesome if you subscribed. All right, so I am finally doing my Time Master Pro video. You all requested this a lot, like since the beginning of the year, and I'm really sorry it's taken this long. So we're gonna talk about what this device is, the modalities that it offers, the results that you can achieve using this tool at home, and I'll also do a full demo at the end of the video. So the Time Master Pro is a professional grade handheld ultrasound device. Technically, this actually is a combination of 3 different modalities, but they work together to plump up the skin, firm it, and minimize fine lines and wrinkles. It uses a blend of ultrasound, EMS, and LED therapies. So we're gonna break down what those 3 things are and what they're gonna do for you. Okay, so the first one is LED. By now, you're probably all really familiar with what LED light therapy is, light emitting diodes. I have a full video that goes in depth on LED if you want to learn more about it. This device offers red, blue, green, and then a full color spectrum, and then a blinking color spectrum. So I'm going to show you what that looks like right now. You turn on your device, press and hold. It automatically gives you a full color spectrum. If you click it again, it's going to strobe or pulsate. Then we have red, blue, green, and then off. So during your Time Master Pro treatment, you can use LED or choose not to use LED. You can use all the lights. You could have the flashing full spectrum going, or you could choose red, blue, or green. So red is going to be the best for anti-aging. Blue is great for antimicrobial action. There have been a lot less clinical studies done on green LED light, but in general, the consensus seems to be that it's great for pigmentation and for brightening the skin. I've also seen it recommended for soothing redness and inflammation. It's going to penetrate deeper than blue, but not as deep as red. I personally will do either the flashing full spectrum or a solid red light treatment. So as you can see, the LEDs are in between these silver electrodes. The next modality that's in here is EMS, electrical muscle stimulation, and that's what these prongs on the outside of your device are. EMS uses voltage, not microamps. So it's going to address the muscle, but address it differently than microcurrent. We've talked a lot about muscle contractions and lifting and firming the face by addressing the muscle using microcurrent in other videos. EMS addresses the muscle by rapid contraction. Now, because muscle contraction depletes ATP or adenosine triphosphate, which is your cellular energy, I've always been hesitant about using EMS on my face. That being said, LED light stimulates ATP. So if you're using these modalities in conjunction with each other, I feel like they kind of just cancel each other out. The focus of EMS in your Time Master Pro treatment is less about lifting and firming the muscle as it is about creating microcirculation. So this rapid contraction is going to pump blood into the tissue, and that's beneficial because blood is full of oxygen. So it's going to oxygenate the skin, the muscle, the surrounding tissues. It'll help detoxify the skin because when you get blood flow in, it pushes waste out. So it's a really beneficial treatment for promoting the overall health of the skin, the muscle, and the surrounding tissues. Your EMS has 4 different settings. You can see, I'll put a picture here so you can see what the button looks like. I'm having trouble focusing. It's a very reflective surface with my camera, but it says power on this top button, and then it has 1, 2, 3, 4. So the idea is that when you turn on your device, you're at level 1 EMS, and you can click this button to increase your EMS intensity throughout your treatment. It is quite active, so I usually tend to do my treatments at a level 1 or 2. You'll get a little twitchy, especially around the eye and mouth area when you're using level 3 and 4, so just be aware of that. Now, the last modality is ultrasound. So this is like the newest, coolest modality that I've added into my skincare routine. I do LED, radio frequency, and microcurrent fairly often. I have devices that do ultrasonic, I have galvanic, I have high frequency, but I haven't had an ultrasound device. So I was very, very excited to integrate ultrasound into my skincare routine. So the TimeMaster Pro uses a professional grade, low frequency pulsed ultrasound. It's a lot, but we're going to talk about why that's important to know low frequency pulsed ultrasound later, because there are different types of ultrasound that do different things, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So what this does is it rapidly oscillates the tissue at 90,000 waves per second, and it promotes a thing called the cascade of intracellular communication. So what that means is we're promoting the information transfer or signaling within the cells that's going to increase fibroblast activity. And fibroblasts are what are responsible for producing collagen. Collagen is your internal scaffolding that holds up your skin and gives your face and whole body structure and volume. And so as we age, our collagen levels deplete and our ability to produce collagen slows way down. So using a device like the TimeMaster Pro is going to be really beneficial for helping to lift and firm the skin and add volume. That rapid oscillation also works to oxygenate the cell. It helps to detoxify the skin, and it can even work at breaking down pigmentation to brighten the skin. I personally love starting my TimeMaster Pro treatments with a lymphatic drainage sequence. You can really feel that oscillation and that deep movement in the tissue, draining the waste and that excess fluid from the face. And then I'll move into a more lifting treatment, as you'll see later in this video. So just a quick recap, your TimeMaster Pro treatment is going to be fantastic for anyone who wants to plump their skin and add firmness and volume, and also minimize fine lines and wrinkles. I'd also recommend this device to someone who wants more preventative treatments. One tool to keep the skin healthy and keep all of that cellular activity going and functioning optimally. Now, because this is an electrical device, there are contraindications, and contraindications for electrical devices can be a very long list. So I'm just going to list down below this video all the contraindications. So if you have anything on that list, you probably should avoid using your TimeMaster Pro. Also, I'm an esthetician, not a medical provider. So if you're being treated for any sort of ailment or illness, make sure you talk to your physician before adding in an electrical device like ultrasound or the TimeMaster Pro. Ultrasound might be new for some of you, or maybe you've heard about ultrasound or sound waves in other devices. And I thought it would be helpful just to quickly show how the TimeMaster Pro is different than a couple other gadgets out there. Again, the TimeMaster Pro uses low intensity pulsed ultrasound, low and pulsed. So there's this thing called HIFU, which stands for high intensity focused ultrasound. It also goes by the professional name UL therapy. So UL therapy is a treatment that you can get in office. HIFU is available on the internet. There are home devices, but high intensity focused ultrasound penetrates deeper into the skin. It also is a hot treatment. HIFU is something you would do maybe twice a year, while the TimeMaster Pro is something you can do twice a week. UL therapy has also been known for addressing adipose tissue. So sometimes you can use it for fat treatment because it is diving super deep into the dermis. TimeMaster Pro does not dive deep enough to affect adipose tissue. That's 5 millimeters into the skin. This doesn't go that deep. If you're worried about losing any volume or fat in your face, from doing the Time Master Pro treatment. Don't worry, it doesn't address fat. Ultrasound uses sound waves. So there's a category of devices out there that use a modality called acoustic wave treatment. I think the most popular version of this is Shani Darden's facial sculpting wand, which is like her private label version of the Novafon. They're about the same price. She always had Novafons in her treatments before she made her own device, and now Novafon like rebranded and it's the exact same device. Hers is just branded with Shani Darden. So if anyone's interested in that, I can put a link to the Novafon down below. But acoustic wave therapy uses these sound waves to massage the tissue. So that works to kind of relax the skin. It increases circulation. She says that it'll minimize fine lines and wrinkles. I would assume that it's doing that by releasing the adhesions where those fine lines form. So again, 2 different treatments. So your Time Master Pro comes with its own connectivity gel. It's really hard to see. I'll put a picture of it here. Another very reflective surface. But this is the Sculplla H2 Collagen Promoter Gel. I've talked about this a lot in previous videos. It's quickly become one of my favorite connectivity gels to use because of the very interesting ingredient deck that it has. So all of the Sculplla products, or the majority of the Sculplla products, have an ingredient called poly-L-lactic acid in them. So PLLA. And poly-L-lactic acid helps to trigger your body's own production of collagen. It's the active that's used in the permanent injectable Sculptra. It's essentially a permanent filler, an alternative to HA fillers. And you get a little bit of volume on the initial injection, and then over the next 6 to 8 months, your body creates more volume. So it's a very gradual, kind of natural enhancement of the face. I'm not a big injectable person. I've never done any injectables, so I really love the idea of using that active topically. So in addition to the poly-L-lactic acid that's in your collagen promoter gel, there's also a 4GF blend. So it's 4 different synthetic growth factors. So we're not using human growth factors in this product. I have mixed feelings about that, but they are very effective. Growth factors work at rejuvenating the skin by increasing cellular proliferation. I have the hardest time saying that word, proliferation. So we are creating new cells. Now, I will say that if you have a history of skin cancer or have active skin cancer, I would not recommend using growth factors. You're triggering new cell production, and when you use it topically, it's going to increase the cells that are there, right? You're creating new cells. So if there are damaged cells, it will create new cancerous cells. So you just want to be mindful. I'm wildly conservative. I talked to the distributor who's had long conversations with the manufacturer in Korea, and they're saying that the synthetic growth factors aren't going to be problematic for precancerous cells in the same way that a human growth factor would. And I like to err on the side of caution. So just something to look into if you have any history of skin cancer or have had any little precancerous things zapped off by your dermatologist. I would probably just talk to your physician and maybe do a little more research and see what you feel comfortable doing. I personally really love this. There's also this ingredient called polydeoxyribonucleotide, or PDRN. It's a mouthful. It also works at rejuvenating the skin through an increase in cellular proliferation. So it's a very active connectivity gel. It's also called the blue gel because it has Azulene in it. So it's incredibly soothing and calming on the skin. One of the reasons that I like it so much is that after a treatment, my skin is so incredibly soft. It's a really light water-based gel, and it definitely hydrates. I have nice slip. It doesn't dry super quick like some of the other connectivity gels out there. And I don't have it in this room, but I'll put a link down below. I love just doing a little mist with my Morningstar Derma Boost mineral spray. It's a blend of fulvic minerals and purified water. Again, I'll put the link down below, but I love that to increase conductivity in the middle of a treatment, whether I'm doing ultrasound, radiofrequency, or microcurrent. It's inexpensive, it's like 15 bucks, and it's just a really nice conductive mist. So just like microcurrent, ultrasound and the Time Master Pro can be used with any water-based serum, mask, or gel. So if you are feeling like you're not into adding growth factors into your skincare routine, or you didn't want to repurchase another one of these after this is finished, because these retail for $90 over on the OE shop at theorganicesthetician.com. Yes, I retailed these. But you could use your Time Master Pro with any water-based treatment of choice. I love it over a sheet mask. It's great with the 7E Wellness Conductivity Gels, specifically the Restore. I really love that. The ATP Booster Mask is great. So play around with it and customize your treatment to whatever your specific needs are. Another thing ultrasound does is it increases product penetration. Now, another YouTuber mentioned that it increases product penetration by over 4,000 times, and I don't know if that is actually an accurate statement. However, I did find a clinical study that I'll link down below that shows how low intensity pulsed ultrasound works through these different mechanisms of sonophoresis and cavitation to push products deeper. So the rapid oscillation of the sound waves produced by ultrasound pushes fluid into the cell, and it permeates the cellular membrane. So when you have a water-based product on your skin, it's going to push that water-based product deep into the skin, making it more effective. And it's a non-thermal action. I think I said this earlier when I was talking about low intensity pulsed versus high intensity focused, but the Time Master Pro does not get hot. It's not a hot treatment like radiofrequency or like HIFU or therapy. If you have any warming of the skin, it's from increased blood flow from that muscle contraction from the EMS. It's just microcirculation. It's not the device getting hot. I love layering my anti-aging Lucerne Labs Serum Absolutes underneath my gel. I'll use Serum Absolute Firming Collagen Booster and Serum Absolute We3 because that's loaded with a bunch of peptides that are going to work to also produce collagen, increase that signaling, and inhibit muscle contractions. So 2 great anti-aging serums to use underneath your conductivity gel if you're wanting to promote that anti-aging effect of your device. All right, quick unboxing. So this is the box that your device comes in. In here, you have your little pamphlet. There's Christine Byers' mom. Those are her before and afters. We're gonna talk about that in a second. It talks about what the device does. It has the how to use on the back, along with contraindications, maintenance, and your disclaimer. You get your Time Master Pro and your Sculplla H2 Promoter Collagen Gel, as well as a charging cord, which is underneath. So pretty simple, 4 items in your box, really straightforward. Okay, so let's talk about the results you can actually expect from using this device. So there are some wild before and afters out there. Christine Byers' before and after on her mom is one of them. Fantastic results. So in reality, if you have healthy, hydrated skin, you're not going to have as drastic of a result. If you are experiencing laxity and dehydration in your skin, you're going to see a major shift when you add this device into your skincare routine. So for someone like me who I maintain my skin, I'm using the device in more of a preventative way than a corrective way, although we are starting to have things to correct. My results weren't as radical. What I will say that I experienced, and when I spoke with the distributor here in the US, Lydia, she's fantastic. Like, side note, working with AO Medical, which is the distributor here in the US, has been a dream. She is the loveliest woman. She's like, goes above and beyond to make sure you have all of the information that you need, all of the products that you need, try out new things. I work with a lot of different companies and not all of them have exceptional customer service. And I would say that AO Medical, which is who I'm buying my Time Master Pros for, definitely excels in that category. So I really love them and I'm really excited about promoting them by retailing their devices. I'm also working with them to clean up some of the ingredients in the Sculplla products, which I'm really excited about because then it means that I can use them on myself and on my clients and retail them to all of you. So keep an eye out for that. We have some stuff in the works. Okay, for me and for Lydia, when we were talking about what our like realistic expectations should be with this device and what we personally have experienced, I notice a difference through the lower half of my face. I feel like I have a lot more definition down here. This is kind of my problem area. I've been really kind of working against gel formation. Now with gel formation, you're looking at skin, muscle, and bone. All of those things kind of shift and fall as we age. And so you have to address all three parts of the body in different ways. And by addressing the bone, you're doing postural correction, you're addressing the muscle through microcurrent, which you all know I do, and then you're addressing the tissue through something like ultrasound or radio frequency, or a combination of the two. And so I will say that I've been really bad about using devices this year, like from January on, and I'll do microcurrent couple times a month, I think, if I'm being good, but I use my Time Master Pro twice a week and I really have noticed a shift in my skin. I also love my LED, but a lot of those results I am just maintaining because I have already showed you some of my before and afters with LED in my previous Omnilux contour video. I just want everyone to have realistic expectations. I think that if you're doing something more corrective, you're gonna have better, quicker results. And if you're using the device in more of a preventative way, I think it's gonna be a subtle shift that you'll see over time. Now, another thing to remember is that when you are addressing collagen, that process has a delayed reaction. So your treatment happens on day 1. 2 to 3 months later, you're going to start seeing the fruit of your labors. I really am excited to be offering this device now, and I love this treatment. So up next, I'm going to show you exactly how I perform Time Master Pro on myself. I use it for lymphatic drainage, and then I do a more kind of sculpting treatment. And then I'll show you, how you turn on your device, how you switch the different settings and all of that. All right, here we go. All right, now for our demo. Okay, so I just got out of the shower. I have clean skin. I'm going to prep it using my Lucerne Labs Hydrating Essence. Just shake out a little bit and press it into my skin. This is my all-time favorite hydrating toner. It's great for all skin types. And you can also buy it through me, the OE. So as I mentioned earlier in this video, you can layer any water-based serum of your choice underneath your conductivity gel when you're doing a Time Master Pro treatment. So I'm gonna layer 2, both are from Lucerne Labs. The first one is Serum Absolute We3. So this uses a blend of neurotransmitter peptides to inhibit muscle contraction along with apple stem cell. So I'm just gonna put this through my forehead where I have more fine lines and around my eyes. And I would say this is where I have more wrinkle formation. So I'm just gonna layer that into the skin. Next, I'll use Lucerne Labs Serum Absolute for my collagen booster. This is a professional size bottle. In retail, it comes in the same silver pump as the We3. So I'm gonna just take a little bit and put it on. So this uses a blend of signaling peptides. I talked about this earlier. I have an entire video on peptides if you wanna learn more about what different peptides do in the skin. But Firming Collagen Booster is all about protecting the collagen you have and stimulating more of it, along with an orange plant stem cell that's gonna help keep the skin plump and juicy. So now that I have on my serums, I'll put on my Promoter Collagen Gel. And the way your Time Master Pro treatments work, when you turn on your device, it will turn off automatically after 5 minutes. You're gonna do 2 5-minute treatments, 5 minutes on each side of the face. So I'm just gonna apply gel to the one side that I'm working on. So I'll use a decent amount of gel, and I'm gonna make sure that I get it on my neck, my face, forehead, and around my eye area, anywhere that you're gonna use your device. And then I mentioned this earlier, but my Morningstar Minerals Derma Boost, I'm gonna just do a quick spritz of this all over to increase conduction. And I'll link all of these products down below in case you're interested in checking them out. Okay, so I'm going to turn the power button on and hold it. So my device is on level 1. I might actually turn it up to level 2 today. And then I'm just going to do my pulsating full spectrum light. So I'm gonna start down underneath my ear. And as I mentioned earlier, I like doing a little lymphatic drainage sequence to start. So I'm just gonna do gentle glides down, again, avoiding my thyroid. And then I'm gonna glide out and back towards the back of my neck. So the sensation is a little prickly, tingly, and as I said earlier, when you get around the mouth and the eye area, you can get a little muscle contraction. And I'm just gonna keep gliding, working my way up the face. And I'm just doing really gentle glides. Again, when we're dealing with lymph, it's a really gentle movement. The closer you get to the eye area, I think the more sensitive or more sensation rather that you'll be feeling. And then drain down the neck. And I'm gonna come all the way back here. Okay, and now I'm just gonna do some little circular movements, working the neck area. And I like spending a good amount of time here underneath the chin. Instead of applying more gel, I always just apply more of the mist. So in addition to draining that fluid that really likes to collect here underneath the jawline, it also works to firm and tighten this area, which is the thing I've noticed the most about using this device. So now my movements are going to be working from the center out, but kind of upward as I go. You can also do like lifts like this, where it's more of a sculpting movement. So you don't have to do circles only. Glides work as well. And I go right over my lips and mouth. Now this is probably the area I like to target the most. So I just do these kind of upward lifting glides right around where gel formation is going to start happening. I've also seen other tutorials show where you're holding and just kind of doing this circular motion here, but you're not really moving your device. I find that I just like the movement better. Okay, and so now you can kind of see a little bit of this muscle contraction that's happening. It just feels kind of like an involuntary movement where you're forced to close your eye. I could definitely see people not enjoying that sensation. All right, so that was 5 minutes. So I really focus the majority of my treatment on the lower part of my face. I like to open up the neck area because that's an area that gets a lot of stagnation. And then my main concern is right here around the mouth. I want to contour the jawline a little bit more. I want to really focus on the nasolabial fold and the depressors down here underneath my mouth. I get this little pocket, and between radio frequency and the Time Master Pro, I feel like I've almost made that completely go away. So now I'm gonna do it on the other side. I'm gonna speed this up so that this video isn't super long, but leave me comments down below if you want a in real time, start to finish demo, if that's helpful. I know some of you like to follow along with me when you're doing the treatment. I find that when I talk through a treatment, I miss parts of the face, like my forehead. So here we go on the other side. All right, so once I've completed my 2 5-minute treatments, I am just gonna use a damp washcloth to remove the excess gel. You guys know I hate leaning over the sink. And as I said earlier, the thing that I love the most about these treatments is how completely smooth and soft my skin feels when I've finished it. I think it's a combination of the device and the gel, but I really like it. So I know some people experience more flushing. I think maybe if you turn up that EMS setting all the way up to 4, that you'll experience a rosier glow post-treatment. I find that mine's really subtle. I don't have any heat in my face. Again, the device does not get hot, and I'm consistently moving it around. So this is what I look like post-treatment. Now, I'm just going to finish up with the rest of my skincare routine. I'm not going to put my We3 and Firming Collagen Booster back on. I applied it and I pushed it deep into the dermis using my Time Master Pro. I don't need to layer it on again. It's daytime still, so I'm just gonna follow this up with a hydrating serum and a vitamin C. Serum Absolute Rehydrate from Lucerne and Highly Naturals Vitamin C Serum. These are my go-to for daytime. And then I use the Solara Sun Care's Juice Boost along with their Time Traveler SPF. Oh, and then for eye, I've been playing around with the Sculplla H2 Promoter Repair Eye Cream. I'm thinking about bringing this into the shop as well. This is a clean formulation and it has that polyl-lactic acid in it. This is another big area of concern for me, and so I'm really trying to build up collagen production under my eye. Feel free to leave any questions about the device in the comments down below, or if you have any questions about how to integrate this into your at-home treatments. I like using my Time Master Pro before microcurrent. It has LED in it, so if I use my Omnilux contour mask, I'll use it on a different night than I do my Time Master Pro treatments. I'm only doing 2 treatments a week, so it gives me a lot of free time to rotate in other devices. I have kind of paused on doing radio frequency. I probably started up again after I finished this round of my professional Sculplla masks. I've been doing a treatment on myself. I've done 2 so far, and I'm gonna do a series of 5 and kind of see how my skin responds to it. I'm also doing a series of 5 on my mom, so I'll have videos on that in the future too. So I mentioned this while I was doing the treatment. The treatment does have a lot of sensation, but I don't find it unpleasant at all. It's a little prickly, a little tingly, and you can get some pretty intense muscle contraction around the mouth and around the eye. But other than that, I find it to be a really lovely treatment. It's actually probably my favorite treatment that I do. And my mom, who hates microcurrent, hates it with a passion. She lets me do it to her, but she like cringes the entire time. She gets a lot of sensation from microcurrent for whatever reason. The Time Master Pro is her favorite device. I think her 2 favorite treatments of all time have been the Time Master Pro and the BioEqua Inner Charger. So I know everyone's a little different, but I thought anecdotally that might help if those are treatments that you like. This is similar. I just find that I really enjoy a treatment that feels like it's doing something at all times. And I really notice a difference when I use it for lymphatic drainage. You can just feel the fluid draining from the neck and the face while you're doing your Time Master Pro treatment. I think that you'll all enjoy this as much as I do. All right, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. Sorry that this video took so long to make, but I finally did it. And again, if you are interested in purchasing the Time Master Pro, I will put the link to my shop down below. It retails for $750. I offer free shipping, and I do a gift with purchase with any transaction over $300. My gift with purchase changes depending on what I have in stock. Feel free to email info@theorganicesthetician.com if you want to find out more about that. For all of my international viewers who are wanting to purchase this device from me, I really appreciate your support. I love you all so much. Unfortunately, with these electrical devices, it can be a little tricky shipping internationally. I know I cannot ship the Time Master Pro to Canada. I might be able to ship it elsewhere. I'm still kind of figuring out that. So again, just shoot me an email and then we can chat and I can figure out some pricing for you. Okay, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you subscribe. I hope you're having a wonderful week and I will see you all later. Bye.